Well, hello all you wonderful people out there in YouTube land. Welcome to the Texas Special YouTube channel. This is Texas Special. We come to you live from the Guage, and here before you for this May 2023 Guage product review, we have this stunning Lionel Lionchief Kansas City Southern freight set. Now, as you can see, this set comes with a Lionel Lionchief equipped ES44AC, in addition to an 027 style high cube box car, lettered and painted for the Kansas City Southern's Southern bell scheme, reminiscent of the hopper cars they came out with around about 2007-2008. A Kansas City Southern unibody tank car and a traditional 027 style stack car. I believe Lionel calls it a Husky stack. I will not call them that ever again throughout the course of this video. It is an intermodal car. It's a stack car. So starting at the head end of the train, the construction of the locomotive, the body is plastic. There is actually there is a little bit of detailing on here. You've got the air horns, you've got the exhaust stack, which is not functional. This does not have smoke. You have the air conditioner and antenna array up here. The hand railings are the traditional O-gauge train set type stuff. This is not a scale model. The trucks are metal. Wheels obviously are metal. These two wheels right here do have flanges. There are no blind flanges on this locomotive. It is rated for 036 curvature. I'd be willing to bet that it can handle 027 track curvature, but I'm not curious enough to actually put that theory to the test. Any of you that buy this engine or a similar engine, try it. If you would, try it out. Let me know how it works out for you. I am genuinely curious. Not curious enough to dig out 027 from under the railroad, but it is there. You can see the alternating, the contrasted colors on these pilot steps. The pilot does swing separately from the front end of the locomotive, unlike the scale GEVOs. And again, train set style hand railings on the front. This set does not have remote control couplers. It's got the traditional thumbtack style operating knuckle couplers. They do work. There's an uncoupling tab, or you can use a remote control track section, uncoupling section, to work the couplers. And that is the same for everything in the set all the way to the rear. The fuel tank is plastic. You've got the air reservoirs here. You got the fuel gauge here, sight glass here. Let's take a little bit better look at the top of the locomotive. You see you've got the prominent Tier 4 style cooling grids. The paint job on this engine is actually very nice. This is a ridiculously light engine for O-gauge. This is insanely light. We'll come around, we'll look at the front here since the rail is dead. So what we've got a headlight here. There are no ditch lights on this engine. Of course, as the vast majority of you out there already know, the real ES44ACs, which is what GE calls these things, have ditch lights on the front somewhere in this area right here. Well, this does not. The cab lights up. There are no figures in the cab, which is a slight departure from Lionel's typical MO. A little disappointing, but it is what it is. We come around and we look at the conductor side of the locomotive. you'll see that it is virtually identical, with one glaring omission. If this was a scale model, there would actually be a hand railing up here as well. That comes back down to here. Overall, this is oh, I forgot, you got the handbrake wheel right here. Paint separation, lettering is very well done. You've got one headlight here on the rear of the locomotive. That is actually accurate. A headlight up here and no ditch lights. And of course the operating coupler back here. This engine runs amazingly well in contrast with the Lionchief UP engine. The UP Jeep that I reviewed last year or year before, I can't remember. It is a good pulling locomotive. It runs great. The problem is it's jerky as all get out. Like it, with a good heavy train behind it, it starts and stops smoothly. But if you're running a short 2 or 3 car freight train, especially if the cars themselves are actually rather light on the wheels, it will jerk the train right off the track. It'll just stringline the hell out of it. This locomotive is a much smoother running locomotive as far as starting and stopping. There is no, it doesn't just try to bolt from the jump. All right, enough about the locomotive. We'll talk about the cars now. You can see here, this is the high cube box car. These are all traditional 027 type cars. So the door opens. There is no real detailing inside to speak of, which I'd honestly be a little shocked if there was. The lettering is all clearly legible and very well done. You've got frictionless bearing metal trucks, operating knuckle couplers. You have the metal uncoupling tab right here, or you can use a remote control uncoupling track section to uncouple this thing. Plastic construction for the body and frame. The wheels and trucks and couplers are the only things on these cars that are metal. We look here, that's the only separately applied detail other than the doors is the handbrake. All the ladders are separately applied. I do hate that they put these frictionless bearing trucks on here, but thankfully, if it bothers you that much, you've got a little machine slot screw here. You can unscrew these trucks and swap them out for more appropriate roller bearing style trucks. Now we're going to take a look at the unibody tank car. This is old hat Lionel unibody tank car. There's nothing really new about it other than the paint job. You can see it has the placards. It's got the plastic hand railings on both ends, the A end and the B end. This is the air brake valve, the triple valve that controls the air pistons. This little bar here is metal. You've got separately applied metal ladders. The platform is separately applied. It's all plastic up here. Forgive the jingling. That is Alex. That's our new dog walking around the railroad room. He was trying to get in trouble in the house. There is very little underbody detailing. You've got the little vent valve here, but that's pretty much it. Again, metal wheels, metal trucks, same deal. These are frictionless bearing trucks, which are not appropriate for this type of car, but if it honestly bothers you that much, this machine slot screw here on both trucks, unscrew it, swap them out for new roller bearing style trucks. We'll take a look at the B end of the car here. You see the brake chain, it's plastic. You see the air brake reservoir right here, and brake pipe right there, in addition to the placard. Alright, And finally, the last car on the train, the stack car, the intermodal car. This set does come with 2 containers, but they don't actually stick together in any way, shape, or form. They just kind of sit there. So if you're running down the rail, there's a chance that vibration will knock it off, or it'll strike a line side accessory if you're running on a completed railroad. It does not have any kind of latching mechanism. It just sits down in there. They look good. They look cool. The doors do open. Oh, come on now. There we go. Doors open. There's obviously nothing inside. It's just an empty container. But they do open. The car is a plastic construction throughout, with the exception of the metal trucks and wheels. It has the appropriate lattice style flooring. It's got the air brake reservoir, the triple valve, the brake lines, and the hand brake are all separately applied. It has a non-functioning EOT. That was a big disappointment for me, but it is a non-functioning EOT. You can tell there is no pickup roller, so it just sits there. The hand railings and stirrup steps are all a tad oversized, well, more than a tad oversized, but again, this is an 027 style train set car. This is not meant to be super realistic scale offering. For what it is, it's a pretty cool little car. Again, frictionless bearings. I really hate that they put those on there. This one I might actually switch out the bearings, which will also more than likely get rid of the non-functional EOT. I might put a functioning EOT on this one later on down the road. Overall though, good set, good running set. It comes with a 40 by 60 inch loop of fast track. So that's 2 10-inch straights, a Lionchief terminal 10-inch section, and a plug-and-play terminal 10-inch section, and 8 036 curve tracks. As you can see, I've got the railroad up to run trains on, so there's no real reason for me to even have the fast track from this set out and running it on there. We'll get this moved over to main track 3. We'll fire it up, and we'll also do a run video with the 2 UP trains I've got on here. You'll also note this will be a first. This will be the first time I'll have 3 6-axle locomotives running at one time on the railroad.
KCS 5000 here. 3-step applied. Prepped for departure. Air test complete. Ready to pull.